We're being joined by Mr. Imtiaz Gul, who's a senior journalist. He's joining us live from Islamabad. Now, Mr. Gul, let me in fact begin by asking you this question that I'm sure a lot of Pakistanis are asking themselves. The results that are out so far have thrown up very interesting situation. The PTI is claiming a landslide victory because it says that many of the independent candidates that it has backed are the ones who won or are already leading in many of these seats. But on the other hand, you look at what PMLN Supremo is likely to do. He's expected to make some kind of a victory speech, is what his party members are saying. So what do you read in this situation that is now playing out in the counting of votes in Pakistan?
Well, I think we still have more than 110 constituencies to be counted. As far as the National Assembly is concerned, it's a house of 266 directly contested seats. And we just have about 160 plus results. Now, as for the results themselves, a number of observers had been talking about whether it's an election or selection, whether it's a process that is being facilitated to help Nawaz Sharif become a four-time prime minister. So that has cast a very serious doubt on the integrity of the entire process, whether it's a selection or election. And also, if we look at a number of veterans, at least 20, who belong to the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf of Imran Khan, they have lost the election. And in most of the cases, these candidates or their agents are claiming that they have the statistical evidence through a form, it's called the Form 45, which is issued after the vote count at every polling station. Right. So there are a number of candidates who have been declared as losers who say that they have won with big margins, and now they'll be knocking at the doors of the courts and the election tribunals. So as for Nawaz Sharif, it's a big moment of reflection for him. This is a man who seems to be still living in the past, who has been whitewashed in the northern Abbottabad region, which was considered to be his stronghold. They have been wiped out from that region. So there's a lot of reflection to be done as far as Nawaz Sharif is concerned. And the victory speech, well, that's still way ahead. And the big question hanging over the conduct of the Election Commission is as to which way these constituencies will go, which we're still waiting for the results, because there are more than 100, and then a number of constituencies, independents, PTI-backed independents, seem to be in the lead.
Mr. Gul, you made two important points, because this is what a lot of people in Pakistan would also be thinking about. Is this an election or is this a selection? And you also said that this is a moment for Nawaz Sharif to reflect upon. But the question that I want to ask you is, if we were to extrapolate the numbers that we've got at this moment, the independents seem to be in the lead. The PMLN is trailing by a pretty big margin, but it could emerge as the single largest party if you would not count the independents. In that case, do you think Nawaz Sharif would be invited to form the government? Is that what is likely to happen?
Well, I think there are still some bridges to cross, but I'm sure had it not been for very systematic pre-poll rigging, had it not been for a lot of mismanagement on the electoral day itself, today the results would have been different. The PTI-backed candidates would have really swept in a landslide way the result, just because all the surveys before the elections indicated a huge difference of 25 to 30 points between the PTI and the rest of the parties. So it was 70 to 80% favorable for the PTI. So these numbers do not really reflect the kind of sympathy, the kind of support that the PTI had enjoyed, particularly after three controversial convictions that Imran Khan got a few days ago. They also, I think, helped in increasing the support base of Imran Khan. So I think it's a lot of gerrymandering apparently has also gone in. So we would just hope that the rest of the process remains transparent, so that the integrity of the entire electoral exercise is not called in question.
Yes, the entire exercise of elections and counting is not called in question. But what do you think is resulting in this delay in the counting of votes and in the declaration of results? Because that is what is now giving rise to a lot of chatter and allegations by the opposition that probably the counting and the declaration of results is rigged in favor of the PMLN.
Well, this is a predominant perception. There are constituencies, urban constituencies, very well organized, where you would have results instantly compiled. But imagine the constituencies of Nawaz Sharif, where Nawaz Sharif has won in Lahore, its result was released 19 or 20 hours after the polling was closed. That raises big questions. Similarly, another stalwart of PMLN, Khaja Asif, his result has been announced almost 24 hours after the votes close. So these are big questions being cast on the conduct and the transparency of the entire exercise.
Absolutely, indeed. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Imtiaz Gul, for joining us and getting us all those insights there. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.